I guess practice time.
My name is Alina Adams. I was born in Odessa, USSR. I wrote 2 books set in the Soviet Union. My daughter was born in America. I'm going to tell her about the Soviet experience through books.
Welcome back, everybody. I know it's already the middle of October. We wanted to wait for some of the major Jewish holidays to pass before we jumped back in, but tell the nice people what you did on your summer vacation.
This summer, I went to the Yiddish Book Center, where I participated in the Great Jewish Books program, where we read a bunch of Jewish and Yiddish literature and children's books, short stories, poems, all that fun stuff.
Today we're actually going to focus on Odessa Stories because this ties in with the theme of our YouTube channel, explaining USSR to my kid through books. Only in this case it's a short story and it's actually not exactly the USSR. But other than that, we're absolutely on brand. Tell me some of the things that happened on this page, just so we can show people as a visual aid. A lot happened on this page.
And nothing happened on this page.
I was actually wondering about that as I was looking. So what are some of the things that really spoke to you in this story that it inspired all of this illustration?
Okay, so in this moment, he failed his first test to get in. Well, he passed, but then they were like, no, we want another Jew because they gave us more money, and he's all sad. And so his dad's like, okay, now you have to study really hard, so they have no excuse to take you. And so this time they're like, so what do you know about Peter the Great? And then this dude has like a full-on like nervous breakdown panic attack and just starts like spewing out everything he's ever learned about Peter the Great. And it's a lot of interesting word choice. That's my AP knowledge coming through. And I thought it was funny. I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but it did remind me a lot of modern day learning of just memorizing and then yelling it back at them.
What about this right here? I was intrigued by this one.
Oh, because it goes, I shouted and shouted for a long time with no one putting a stop to my mad rambling. Real. Anyway, all I saw through my crimson blindness, which didn't make any sense because he's not bleeding yet in the eyes. He's only crying. So I'm going to say that's foreshadowing. But, you know.
Another AP word.
Hopefully not an AP word. Hopefully just an English word.
Okay.
Through the sense of freedom that had come over me. So then from there I have an arrow that says education is freedom, and then another arrow that says why do you think they control minorities by controlling their access to education? Look at the DOE, lol.
Okay, well the DOE is the Department of Ed here in New York. So this actually brings me to the fascinating question, because I have many, many interests. I mean, yes, I am a novelist, but I also write about education in New York City. So some of that might have filtered through to you. I'm usually so subtle about it and I don't mention it. But it does beg the interesting question. You read this paragraph and you thought about minority education and how the Department of Ed goes out of their way to keep them from it. Did you guys read this story in class?
We did all of our readings before class and we talked about it in class.
But you did discuss this one in class. So I'm curious, what did other people see in this story that maybe you didn't see and vice versa?
A lot of people focus on the part about when the test guy is like, these people, and by these he means Jews, and he's like, these people, they're possessed. And I thought that was funny. But I don't think it was supposed to be funny now that I think about it. And as people were saying in class, they were like, this is very harmful. And I was like, maybe.
Okay. Something very amusing happened on this page. Do tell us about it.
Oh, I just appreciate seeing the evil eye in text.
Oh, okay.
And also Mother was pale.
Okay, Mother was pale. That's just her little swipe at me. But basically the boy gets into the school and the father wants to throw a party and celebrate, but the mother is saying, no, 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 no. If we release our good news, it might be taken away from us. So this was something that perhaps spoke to you?
Well, it's specifically when they're talking about how everyone in their family, all the guys are too emotional and they get too excited about things, and the women are like pragmatic, and they go on some weird tangent about some guy. Well, yeah, that was weird, but we'll get to that. And she's like, I got in, and the dad's like, let's go buy a uniform, and the mom's like, let's wait until the list is posted. Let's not embarrass ourselves.
You remember how I was with your high school notification? I downloaded the document 3 times because I wanted to make sure it was accurate.
Learned how to screenshot.
Learned how to screenshot. That was a big day for me. And remember, until I got the email address from the DOE, I refused to believe that you were in the school. So again, over 100 years ago, still so relatable. But here's the thing, Odessa. I have these superstitions from my parents, from my grandparents, all of whom are multi-generation in Odessa, so it seems like this goes back quite a while.
I mean, are they really superstitions if the things did happen?
Good point. All right, another highlighted paragraph. Then we saw the sons of the baker, Kalistov, drag a leather vaulting horse out into the road and start doing gymnastics. Now, coincidence, the week you were at Great Jewish Books, what was going on in the rest of the world?
The Olympics.
And?
Specifically, men's qualifiers, finals, individual, and team apparatus competitions.
And what happened there?
America got our bronze medal!
In what event?
Men's gymnastics. Oh, and we have our pommel horse hero, King, Superman, Steve Mederozic, who killed it on the pommel horse doing gymnastics in the middle of the streets.
That's what I kept dragging you towards. I know it was a long time ago, but try to remember. And you were super excited.
I was so excited.
You were watching this event. So let me ask you, when you read this paragraph, were you thinking, this is speaking to me?
I was so confused why this paragraph was in the essay, and I thought, because I was reading it at like 11 o'clock at night, the day before class, and I was sitting here with it, and the whole like context of this is people like,
there's a pogrom going on.
yeah, and then this guy's like, pogrom, what I'm hearing is practice time, and I'm like, he's a real, this is why the Soviet Union has to make good athletes, question mark?
And as a former competitive gymnast, where you're thinking, you know, when I hear pogrom, I think this is a good time to practice.